What up? It's your boy, Dick Incredible Man. And yes, I am back at it again. And this is 911 Lone Star, Season 2, Episode 5. And it was pretty much a semi-conclusion of last week's episode. But it was a little emotional too, though, man. Let's get it. With this episode being like a semi-conclusion of last week's episode, especially dealing with Owen and Gwen finding out about the pregnancy, we see that Owen has some concerns and Gwen has some concerns because like we figured, it's a high-risk pregnancy, and there's a chance that she could end up possibly dying in the process, or having lingering problems, or the baby could not be carried to term, or she could end up having a miscarriage. So it's very high risk and very problematic, but we see throughout this entire episode that they were kind of struggling with the fact of, should they have this baby or should they terminate it? And I felt so emotional and vulnerable, I guess you can say, because I really wanted them to have this baby. I didn't want them to get rid of it. But early on in the episode, that's what they decided they wanted to do, because Owen didn't want to lose Gwen. But that was the lingering effect. But after talking to Captain Vega and finding out that she had her kids kind of late, and reminiscing about TK, Owen kind of changed his whole ideal of wanting to have this baby. But he didn't want to be the only one. He didn't want to put Gwen in that kind of position. So him and Gwen both decided to, not carry the baby to term and just terminate the pregnancy. But by the end of the episode, they're both feeling some type of way, and they're both emotional, and we see that both of them actually agree on wanting to have this pregnancy. Consequences be damned. They just wanted to have these kids. Not these kids. Forgetting all the consequences, they just wanted to have the kid. Forgetting the consequences, they just wanted to have the kid, and I think that was a nice thing, man. I feel like it made me feel better, and it just brought so much joy to the episode as well, because it was a little depressing at the very beginning, finding all this information out, man. And by the end of the episode, we see that like they reached the conclusion and a consensus of, let's have this baby, and I was overjoyed, man. But that's not the only thing that happened this episode. The 126 get a call, and this man is passed out on his lover on the bed, and she thinks he had a heart attack. We get there and we flip the dude over, and JUDD immediately recognizes who this dude is. And I'm gonna be 100% from the way that I saw JUDD's face, and like when he saw the dude and he knew that he was like diabetic and hypoglycemic and stuff. I was like, that's Grace's dad. Like the moment, like he looked shocked and puzzled when he saw this dude, I was like, that's Grace's dad. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's exactly what it was. Like, but JUDD felt some type of way, man, because he didn't know how he was going to explain this to Grace. He did not want to hurt Grace and tell her that he caught her dad in the hotel with another woman. Especially, like, because we learned about it this episode that, like, her dad is, like, he's kind of up there, and he held JUDD to a higher standard, and this is the guy that kind of judged me when we were younger and stuff. So that made JUDD look at him in a different light, and I can't blame him, man. But JUDD gets to the hospital, and he was like, no, my captain gave me the rest of the day off, and I'm not going to be the one to tell Grace. You're going to be the one to tell her. So they get there, and he decides to lie. He lied straight through his teeth, man. And JUDD is just back there. He's heartbroken. He's distraught because he gave this man an out. He didn't take it. But now he has to be the one to tell his wife, and he doesn't know what he doesn't know what he's going to do, because he doesn't want to hurt his wife. And we learned throughout the episode that because his father stepped on his mother and it broke her heart, and he doesn't want to be the one to hurt Grace because he loves her. But he ended up talking to Captain Tommy Vega and her husband, and they kind of just laid it all out bare for him, that you need to be the one to tell her before she finds out on her own, because if she finds out on her own, it's going to be problematic. She's going to be a little upset at you and her father, but she's going to be upset at you too. And he had his opportunity. He was going to do it, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it. And with that, he missed his window of opportunity. And in that moment, Grace found out on her own after dealing with a case all on her own. And she was distraught, man. She was heartbroken. She was gonna tell her mother, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. And we see Judd finally building up the courage to tell her as the episode was getting ready to go off. And he finally sat down. He built up the courage. And Grace was like, if you're gonna tell me that my father cheated on my mother, and that you were gonna tell me, and that you didn't tell me to protect me, I already know, and I don't want to talk about it. So now we're in a situation to ask where, had he told her prior, she would have been upset with him, but she would have been as upset with him. But now she's in the point to where she had to find out on her own. He kept this from her. Her father kept this from her. So now she's angry at both of them equally. It's such a hard thing, man, because Judd done it to protect her, but in the process, she feels like he done it to protect her, but not telling her the truth also didn't protect her, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. It's crazy, man. But then Grace's case. You guys know I love me some Maddie, and I'm starting to love May from 911. And Maddie's legit in her stuff since she's a 911 operator. But Grace is hitting on all other kinds of cylinders, man. Grace is on another level, even along with last week's episode, but this week's episode as well, with her taking this call and the lady doing the whole pizza thing. And like, yeah, I would love to order a large pepperoni and a medium pepperoni and an extra pepperoni and no peppers and stuff. And Grace set all of this up. And then she had the firefighter set up the little, the suicide balloon or whatever down at the bottom, like where they jump on it. She set all of this in motion to catch this lady while dealing with keeping him calm in the process. She kept him talking. The lady broke free and jumped straight out the window. The dude thought she was dead. I thought she was dead. I thought this chick just killed herself. I thought she just jumped out the window because she couldn't take it anymore. But the little balloon thing was down there to catch her. So that had to be what her and Grace was talking about on the phone the entire time, especially once she felt like she couldn't get safe and there was no way for her to hide anywhere with the peppers, as a hideaway word. So they built all of this little thing outside and set it up. And when she jumped out that window, my mind was gone. I was like, there's no way that she killed herself, man. Like, is she crazy? But like, they saved her and they came in and arrested dude. That was nice. I gotta give Grace her props, man. Grace is on another level when it comes to 911 operators. Grace doing her thing out here, man. I almost forgot about Proby, aka Mateo, dealing with his whole tattoo. And it did dawn on me that like he reworded it wrong because of his dyslexia. I actually forgot about that for a moment. It was funny seeing it at first, but like I felt kind of bad for him when we found out why it led up to the misprint of the tattoo. Like, because he's dyslexic, it kind of, he changed up the letters, and the people in the firehouse, they didn't even question. It was like, oh, you sure this is what you want? He was like, yeah. And it was like, ha, ha, ha. And they tattooed it on him, which was wrong, man. You should have, like, I know they should have asked him, and they did, but, like, he didn't really quite understand. So, like, if I felt like they asked him, are you sure you want Angle tattooed on your back? He would have been like, no, I want Angel. But they didn't ask that. He was like, oh, you sure this is what you want? And it was like, okay, man, we're gonna put it on there. And he was flexing the entire time, and I felt bad for him, man. But I don't feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for him, but I don't feel like TK and Paul are at fault. They didn't want to hurt Mateo because they saw it and he was so proud of the tattoo, and they didn't want to hurt Mateo. But Marjan stepped up and came through for your boy, man, and had the people fix it and everything. So now it looks like a legit tattoo. But I gotta give it up for number one Lone Star. You guys know how I comment about it most of the time, that sometimes it tends to be a little hilarious, but like these last two episodes were super serious, man, and I teared up a little bit in these last two episodes. So huge shout out to number one Lone Star, man. This your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out. I cannot complain because today, I'm doing